Well, hello everybody. It's Leanne Graff with today's free class. Let me get settled. Let me get my laptop synced up and wait for a few people to get on. Let's see. So I have an awesome class for you. I've done this before, this card plan that I'm going to show you today. And it was very popular. A lot of people loved it. In fact, I just had somebody email me requesting it again or link to the video that I had done in the past. And unfortunately, fortunately, I was able to recover that video since I was hacked. My video YouTube channel was removed by a hacker, and so is my email, but I'm back and recovering, and I was able to upload that video again. I did recover some videos from last year. Since January, that's when my old YouTube channel was hacked, so now this is my new one, still under my name, Leanne Graff. So good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for spending your morning or afternoon or wherever you are with me. Okay, a few reminders. We have the last chance product list out and the carryover product list from the holiday catalog. So there are some discounted items, as you can see. And there are also carryover products that we're going to bring back into January through possibly April. I'm not sure if it's early April or when these will carry over until. But we have some things that we love that will be available into the spring. And then there are some that are no longer available, like this list right here of my the inventory status list by Stampin' Up. So as you can see, these items, and there are just a few more that I couldn't fit on here that are no longer available, but things are starting to sell out. 5 different designer papers, some gems, some embellishments, and then these are the items that are out of stock but returning. So, you can see the dates. I can't believe this bow punch. January 29th, that's like 2 months from now. So sorry if you wanted it, but it'll be back. It's in the annual catalog. So are all of these items from the annual catalog, except for the oxidized copper that's in the holiday catalog. So they're doing pretty good on inventory right now for the holiday catalog, but they are catching up on shipping. So if you placed an order either last week or early the week before or late the week before, boy, they're a bit behind. Actually, they are up to 9 days out for shipping. I was really hoping I was going to receive my kit products. I have the designer papers because I was nervous they would sell out, and they did. My kits that I just did are Shining Brightly and Merry Bold and Bright, and that's still here. But so I ordered that early, but the embellishments and ribbons are not here yet. I'm hoping I can get my kits out by the end of the week if the order comes, but it hasn't even shipped yet. So I apologize for those who are waiting for their projects, but I'll get them to you as soon as possible. Okay, done with that news. Let's get into door prizes. So last week I had kind of a mystery card. This is an old kit, card kit to go that I had posted or shared. And it has some die cuts and some layers. And it's going to be fun for the recipient to do some of these cards and try and figure out, well, I wonder what she was thinking. But you can add what you want to this kit. And the other, that's for commenting, and this cards and envelope pack is for sharing. So the winners are, and I'm trying to see if anyone is on here that is a winner. I don't see it, but we have Lynn Eskelson and Cindy Howard. So congratulations, gals. I appreciate you sharing and commenting on my videos. And some of these are repeat watchers and sharers, so I really appreciate your loyalty to me and my videos. So this week for commenting, I have a set of red rhinestone basic jewels. Remember these? They retired, I think, in the last annual catalog. So that's for commenting. Now for sharing, I have an interesting kind of a card kit for you. So it's a 4-card kit. It's all ready to go. Everything's cut. The ribbon is there. Here are the cards. So this was a kit that we made at one of my team meetings, and I had a leftover kit, and it's the 4-card wonder that I shared. So basically you take a piece of cardstock, white in my case, and you stamp, and this is done with the translucent florals stamp set, but this is what will be in the kit, and that is stamped with the beautiful balloons. So you'll get these pieces, and you'll get the rest of the pieces, and even this printout so you can make more. And that is, you won't get these cards, these are my finished ones, but you will get this one. And the colors work pretty well with this kit, so you should be able to make them with here. So that is my kit, my prize for sharing this video. So share it with your crafty friends, maybe on your YouTube channel, or your Facebook page, those kind of things. So all right, I'm gonna share one of our Artist of the Months, and I think she's on. Judith, are you on? So Judith she was one of my team members, and she chose the Magical Meadow bundle as her free bundle. So, and then the deal is she gets this free from me, and then she will make 5 projects or more for me gifting her this bundle. So then I get to share her projects with you and my team members. So here's one. This is like a double flap card. So she cut these circles from the deckled circle dies and then scored them and put them under this layer on the inside. Isn't that pretty? So this is one of the couple of the die cuts from the Magical Meadow bundle. And this card is one of those latch cards. So what it is you kind of latch that, and it grabs both of the gatefold front layers. Now you can, I've made this card before in my video, you can adhere one, which I've done, and some people prefer not to. So otherwise you can catch the card to close it. So that's her gatefold latch card. Then she did this one. So you can see she had kind of a theme going. These 2 use the same designer paper, and the next 2, which I shared on my blog yesterday, also use the same sheet of designer paper. So this is just a beautiful single, almost a single layer with a deckled circle window here. These greeting dies are from the Autumn Leaves stamp or die set. And here's another one, same paper. You can see how beautiful the inside shows up when you just fold over. And these measurements were on my blog yesterday, or today, and these will be on my blog tomorrow. She also made this cute little gift bag out of a sheet of designer paper. And I'm gonna figure out the measurements and post them tomorrow when I share these. So really cute little gift bag made with another sheet of the Winter Meadow designer paper. So thank you so much, Judith. I really appreciate your creativity, and all of your cards were fun folds. She's a master at fun folds, and not afraid to do some hard ones either. In the past, I've seen that she is very, very creative with her fun folds. Okay, what's next on my list? My online ordering special with this host code during November is a stack of free handmade cards. The more you order, the more you receive. So I'm actually gifting previous cards from my card kits to go. So many of them are fun folds. So you may receive some Christmas and some other cards with your orders from me. So just like I said, I'm finishing up getting my card kits out for November. The product I am waiting for, it is coming in late. Have the designer paper, the kits are all packaged, ready to go. Just need the ribbon and embellishments, and I will get those out. So that's that. All right, let's get started. We are going to feature, I know many of you use my template. Now this is my template for inside layers or front layers, where you take a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and you make your first cut at 4 3/4, and then you cut each of those into 3.5 pieces. And then your second cut is 3.5 from this first one, and then 4 3/4 long. So you get 5 pieces from an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. So this is my go-to for inside layers, and I'll show you that on my second project today, how it looks great. You see more of your inside border with your white layer. And so the second template that I've created is a layer for this one. So here, instead of 4 3/4, it is 4 7/8. 3.5 turns into 3 5/8. So it might be tough for some of you who do not do measurements, but I will show you on my my paper trimmer in a little bit. But this is the premise of my first project today. All right, so we're doing 5 at a time cards, or easy 5-card wonder is what I call it, with my sparkling snowflake stamp set. Now, interesting, this is carrying over into the next season, so we'll have that available. And I used these colors. Let's see. Use Pretty Peacock, Coastal Cabana, Pool Party, and Fresh Freesia. So those are my colors. So I love these with snowflakes. I love the blue-greens with purples. I think it's very winterish and pretty. So here are my cards. So here are these 5-card wonder cards that I'm going to show you today. I'm going to change it up just a little bit, like I like to do. Now here are my white card base, and then I have a layer of Coastal Cabana. So the Coastal Cabana layer is this, 4 7/8 by 3 5/8, and the white layers are this. So I'm going to start with this template right here, and get my, when I'm doing basically background stamping, I always gravitate to the first, or the largest image first. So let me get my pieces out here. I have all these pretty snowflakes to do. Lots and lots of pieces here. Well, not a lot, but a couple more snowflakes. Okay, so I have 5 snowflakes. I'm not sure I'm going to use them all. I believe I did on the cards, but when I stamp, here is my 8.5 by 11. Okay. All right. I'm going to scoot some of these over and give myself some room. And always start with your largest stamp first. Now, when I did this 5-card wonder, I did use a ruler and a pencil, and this might help some of you, and started a mark at 4 3/4. So I did that, 4 3/4, 4 3/4, just to make pencil marks all the way along. And you can make them larger because they do erase. And then I went 3.5, because remember that's our, and then across. So right here is 1 layer. Well, then you can do it again, 3.5 and 3.5. Now, you might say, well, why not just cut them apart and then stamp? Well, you can. There's no reason not to. No reason at all. But basically what you're doing is stamping up this center. So you're going to want some snowflakes on the corners or sides of each of these cards. So that's what I'm going to do. Now you notice there is a layer you don't use, so it doesn't matter if I use it or not, but I'm going to just start stamping and kind of keep towards the center in a line. And on my cards, I felt like, I'll show them to you in a minute here, I felt like they were a little bit too full. I kind of want this next set to be a little more airy. So I'm going to attempt to leave a little more space in these next cards. Okay, so our next size is Pool Party and more of the solid. Now this one would actually it's not this one, it's the next one, would layer with this one. Let me get the stamp set out. So here are the snowflake layers, and these two layer. But I'm choosing not to use them that way. I'm going to do more of a background with these. So, pool party, let's see. I want to leave a little more space, so, but I want also to, these are the largest. And you always want to go off the paper just a little bit when you're doing this. Okay, I'm going to close that up. I've got 3 more snowflakes yet, actually 4. Let me think here. Okay, we're going to do fresh freesia with the next size detailed snowflake. I think I might have to re-ink this one. It's very, very, very light. I don't think it was this light yesterday. In my imagination. No, I'm not watching comments, and I know I should be. Let's see. This is here. So now I'm kind of doing this. So I'm gonna do another one here. Now, when I'm done, what I did yesterday after I was done is I can see what I did now. Is after I cut them up into pieces, I did a few more snowflakes just to fill in. So this is Pretty Peacock, a little darker, and I just re-inked it. Oh yes, I can tell that. Much darker than it was yesterday. One here. Okay. All right. Next is yeah, I hope you do try it, Barb. It is super fun to do. Trying to decide. Oh, I think this stamp has, yes it does, there's a little hair on there. When you have a hair, sometimes it does not, has a little white space when you're using it. I don't want a lot. Okay, lastly, I'll close up some of these. We're going to grab an image. I wanted some little snowflakes, and this stamp set didn't have any, but the Wishes All Around did. So I'm going to use that image right here with Coastal Cabana just for a little more interest. And those I'm actually going over some of the other just to kind of fill in. I think this adds a pretty touch. Okay, now I'm going to call it good for now. Close up some of these ink pads so I don't get in trouble, and get my paper trimmer out. Okay, so you can kind of see I went up the center. Well, and because I'm not stamping on the open area, I added a layer. And last year, I believe when I did these cards, I stamped on an open area. But because I'm not needing that, it does not matter. But I didn't want it all so busy. So you can kind of see this one has a lot more fill than that one, but it works because you're adding a second layer. Now this is from the Stylish Shapes dies, and these are the tailored tags. Did you know, I was really surprised somebody ordered them the other day, and they're only $22 for all that you get. So I use these so much, and I love the fact that you can add ribbons and that they have a little additional detail. These little pieces go right over that little opening, so you have a second layer if you want to. One of my favorite sets of dies. Okay, get the paper trimmer out, and we'll cut this up. Okay, so my first cut is at 4 3/4. 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So right here is 4, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, and 4 3/4. Always make sure to look at the opposite end to make sure it's straight. But if you butt your cardstock up against a side, you should be just fine. That's my, oops, that's my scoring blade. That's my cutting blade. Okay, so there's 4 3/4. Now I'm going to do, while it's here, the 3 1/2. So there's 3, 3 1/4, 3 1/2. And again, look all the way down and make sure it's on that same line, nice and straight. So that's how much waste we had on that piece. Okay, now we will go to the 4 3/4. It's so quick. And again, 4 3/4. So we have this little, this is our second piece of waste, just those 2 layers so far. And now here we will go at 3 1/2. You can see my pencil mark there, which I can erase, but it actually landed right on the cut line. And lastly, 3 1/2. So you can see this is how much waste we had, and then that strip right there. So you can use this as a layer. This I'm going to toss. And I already did cut up this layers with, oh, where did they go? Isn't that funny? They have disappeared. Oh, under my basket. Okay, this time instead of Coastal Cabana, I decided to use Fresh Freesia. So you can see there are my layers right there. So this should layer nicely on there. Oh, I can see I'm a little bit off. I was trying to do this layer a little bit wider. So I'm going to just trim off a little bit. And I may have to do that with others because I was trying to give myself just a little bit wider layer, as you can see, a little bit wider. So now, do we feel like we need to add any more? This one seems a little bit empty. I think I'll add a little bit of a Fresh Freesia. This one right here. Maybe a little here and a little here. And I think that's good. Do I need any more? Yes. Oh yes, this one definitely needs something. Oh, how I missed that much. And actually, it's just fun to play. Don't you just love to stamp? I honestly do love to make my own paper. It's one of my favorite things. This is Coastal Cabana and my largest snowflake. Okay, that was none of that in there. In fact, I'm going to add just a little bit more. Oh, that didn't go on there very well. A little bit more here. Okay. All right. I think I could go on and on, but I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit and just make this card and show you how simple it is. And actually, I'm going to leave my Coastal Cabana out and do this one. I love some of these sayings in this set. Let me get that out again. So let it snow, make the season sparkle, and winter greetings, which is perfect and just for you. So some great simple greetings. I'll move these out. So I will post these templates both on my blog next week. I may even make a project sheet for them too. I was thinking because the templates are separate, but I believe I can post them in the same, I'll see if I can add it to the project sheet. Okay, I kept my card base all white. There's just something about a white card with a pop of color that I really like. And snowflakes to me are airy and clean. Okay, I can see I have my little bit of pencil mark showing there. All right, now you could take this piece and texture it before you, because we're not stamping on here, you could add some beautiful texture to this card before you put it on there, and especially with the new Snowflake Sky embossing folder, it would be gorgeous. Okay, very pretty, simple cards. Okay, now I have my elegant trim, Simply Elegant trim, and I have the, I have actually 2 silvers in here because I think I had used more gold. And we will just cut a piece. Now the secret to a tag, I've told people many times, is to fold it in half and put the fold through the front. If you have a little hole in the front, that's where the fold goes. F for fold, F for front. If that helps you remember, which way do I put that? And you take it in and out multiple times. Okay, and I like to put this at an angle. Just use a couple dimensionals. Give a little nail mark on there so we can lift that up. And just add that there. And I then used the iridescent, let's see, iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. So that is what I chose to do for my embellishments. But first, I have a wink of Stella. I'm just going to add a little bit of wink to some of these snowflakes. And you can kind of just play, because wink is so subtle. You don't have to be like, oh, I better color that, I better color that. It just shows up with a shimmer. Okay, so that's the wink. Now, I take my pick tool. I think it's take your pick tool, but it's mine. So, okay, I'll do a couple medium. And then a few small. So how many of you like making your own designer paper? I absolutely love it. I think it's so pretty. So now I'm going to show you a card with the Fresh Freesia and a card with the Coastal Cabana. So it may just be a color preference for you, but what is your preference? You like the blue-green or the soft purple? Yeah, I think it's so pretty. I guess I used a different tag on them, but yeah, you're welcome, Gian. I don't love creating templates, honestly, but I do love stamping my own paper. And just think of all the different stamps that you have that you could do this technique. Just leave it this one, as you can see, is a little busier. Maybe you like that. I would maybe add a few more little snowflakes on here just to add a little more what I would call airiness to it. But that's one thing I might change on this one. But yeah, super fun. And the templates, like I said, will be on my blog next week. So, and I will finish the rest later. You don't need to see me create all these cards. But, I mean, they are, I just absolutely love them with the colors. So here are those, and I'll make a set with the Fresh Freesia and finish those off as well today and share them with you. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I love picking color combinations, Lori. That's one of my favorite things to do. But I do kind of have some standards. I frequently use these colors for snowflakes. And then for Christmas, I love using, say, mint and that like evergreen or succulent, and then cherry or red. I kind of stick to standard for traditional Christmas colors. But yeah, I just find our colors are probably one of my most favorite thing about Stampin' Up. When I was first introduced to Stampin' Up, I had a friend who invited me to a party, of course, and I went, and I had been scrapbooking, never made a card. Well, maybe a computer card. Do you remember way back when we would print on a piece of copy paper so we could fold it? You know how you print on one side and maybe the other inside, and then you fold it. That was my first introduction to making cards. But when I was scrapbooking, I was so frustrated by all the things that didn't match. I had this designer paper and these stickers or these embellishments and nothing matched. And so when Stampin' Up! Came to me into my life, that was an easy transition to, okay, this is the way to go. Stop going to all those big box stores and getting a little bit here and a little bit there just because it was on sale. Yeah. Okay, so next I'm sharing a card we made at club, at my November card clubs, and it features the Christmas Classics bundle, one of my favorite bundles in the holiday catalog. Mostly, well, actually not just because of the dies. I've used these sayings and the bows and berries multiple times. I'll share a few with you here. So I shared this one, I think was it last week? No, a couple weeks before. And that uses this die right and this die right here. So these two kind of work together as a frame. And then of course here are the little, I guess, leaves. There's the inside, so you can see there's that, and tidings of comfort and joy, peace on earth. I honestly, truly love this set. So this is the card I'm going to make today, and this is real red with shaded spruce and a little piece of the Joy of Christmas. And unfortunately, the Joy of Christmas did sell out, so it's no longer available. It was on the last chance list, and it's gone just last week, I believe. But I'm still going to make the card. You can substitute other designer paper easily or stamp your own. So simple, right? Okay, I was going to show you the inside. This is the inside, and this is my same template for inside layers. I use this all the time. So you don't even notice that you're missing that 1/8 of an inch on all sides because yeah, you just don't notice, or is it 1/4 of an inch on all sides? But I like the fact that you see you have a larger border, and I get one more piece. So multiple card making, this saves you a lot of paper when you're making mass producing, I guess I'd say. Okay, so real red card base, standard for US, and that is 5.5 by 8.5. There's our inside layer. There's our front layer. Oh, and I forgot to texture it ahead of time. This one is textured with the Snowflake Sky embossing folder, and this one is textured with the, what is it called? It's right there, Christmas Tidings. So you can kind of see the different words and images, presents and ornaments and things. And this one's just falling snow. It gets lighter here and heavier at the top, or you could do it from the bottom. Doesn't really matter. Okay, all right. Well, I'm just gonna not texture this one, I guess. And here's that beautiful die cut that this die cut layers right on it. So clever. Okay, we're going to use real red for our greetings, and I'm going to do the Merry Christmas, and that is on 2 separate Merry and Christmas. So you have all these things, Happy Christmas, Christmas wishes, all those things you can do, and put kind of word or phrases together. Okay, so Christmas I'm going to stamp over here. And when the words are curvy like that, you can't tell if something is not straight. That's what's really nice. Now this Merry will need to be straight. And just put it up at the top. How'd I do? Pretty good. Okay. All right. And then on the inside, we will do the tidings of comfort and joy while I have my ink out. Okay, make that straight, and oh, didn't get any on me. Close this, and we will use the bow, pine bow, to stamp our corners. I've used this so much for the inside, and I kind of move it, as you can see. If you do one that way, the next one you can do longer or at a different angle. So simple to do. Now I have the berries. This is the berries image right here. And I have a real red ink spot. And this is so much easier at classes or even yourself to not get ink everywhere when you are limited with one of our ink spots that has a more firm base rather than foam. This is our old linen. You know, if you've been around long enough with Stampin' Up, you know our linen, our pads used to be linen, and the ink spots still are. Not sure if they'll change that. We'll find out, I guess, with the next catalog or two. Okay, let me grab my, put all these pieces together. Now, we'll do 3 dimensionals. So I think I have real red ink on my finger. I'll try not to touch anything. White. And layer this. Looks pretty good. We will grab my card base and my quick liquid glue. If you have trouble with liquid glue and getting glue everywhere, don't put it toward the edge. Put it in a little bit more so it still adheres, and you can kind of wiggle it around a little bit so it, but you won't get as much outside your card as you might. You know, I just feel like I'm going to have to texture this, so I'm not going to adhere this to the card. I'll pretend today. Oh, I'll put my cover on. So after the video is done, I will texture that. I don't know if I can do it without because it's just so pretty. All right, I'm going to try and get this even. That looks pretty good. There you go. So what a difference the texture makes. This seems really plain without the texture, the pretty texture. But what I did want to show you and remind you is that you can color your rhinestones with a red, or any color, blends marker. Now when you do that, I strongly encourage you to use the bullet end because the soft tip, let me open this up, you will ruin your tip if you do too many. I mean, a few if you're very gentle, but this works just fine to go around, and I like to do them twice. Do it once and then go over them a second time, sometimes even a third time if you want the color really bright. But you won't hurt your tip. In fact, I colored, I don't know, almost a whole sheet of this for my clubs this last month. So we have a few. I'm missing all my large ones. The club gals like the large ones. So we're going to do the medium and then a few of the small. And you can decide if you want to keep, and you could do all of them. I didn't. I only did a few on each one. Okay, so yeah, it's so much plainer without texture on there. I just can't finish it like that. So isn't that pretty though? I'll show this one because it's done and it has texture. Such a simple card, just a strip of cardstock. And this is, I'll have the free project sheet on my blog at flowerbug.net next week. So you'll be able to see it then. I just think they're so beautiful. Very traditional colors. All right, I think that is it for today's video. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to comment and share. And yeah, let me know what you like about my videos. I would love to hear. Do you like, you know, the project sheets? Do you like the colors, my layouts? I'd love to get, if you haven't commented lately, give me a comment. Show me some love. So I hope you guys are all getting ready to send some Christmas cards this year. If you're a stamper and a crafter, I hope you're not buying cards. I would tease anybody that's a crafter that buys their own cards. You've got to make them. You can make them really simple and pretty, still by your colors or your layers. All right, thanks everybody. I appreciate it. I will see you next week. Okay, bye-bye.